diggity, diggity dog. Breaking, diggity, diggity dog. Shark breaking. Diggity, diggity dog.
Hello and welcome to the 40th episode of the Tipping
40s?
40's.
Today we're all
Podcast.
drinking 40s.
No, we're not.
Actually, we're not.
None of us are actually. We suck. I am your host today, Michael,
I'm Ryan.
I'm Benson.
And I'm Alex.
and today we're going to be, doing the usual stuff, reading some emails, voicemails. We'll do a beer of the week, which disappoints pretty much everybody because I always pick bad ones on
He does.
purpose. Ryan's going to talk about music. I don't really know specifically about what because I refuse to read his document he sent me.
Good.
We're going to talk about the Oscars because those are entertaining. And
real.
lastly, top 5 most wanted. So let's start with first off, if you want to contact us, podcast@tipping40s.com, or you can call us at 218-666-8407. And we got some emails and you just farted.
Yep, did.
I
Start
don't
off
know
with
if
a
that
good
picked
fart.
up. Yeah.
It's a little one, though, so you guys probably didn't hear it.
It's about the quality of our emails.
Nice.
Here it is. First one's from Bill. More dumb movie
Bill.
titles. Oh, Bill. Bill. Okay. Hey, Tipping 40s. I just remembered a really obnoxious movie title convention that I don't think was mentioned last week. Have you noticed that when they decide not to put a number on a sequel title, they just add Rise instead? It doesn't even matter if anything rises in the movie. I think Rise has replaced Return in lazy movie titles. Just by searching Rise on IMDb, I found The Dark Knight Rises, Terminator Rise of the Machines, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra, Underworld Rise of the Lycans, Hannibal Rising, Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer,
Damn, that's
Van Wilder 2 The Rise of Tosh,
Oh, that movie sucks.
I've seen that.
etc.
I have too.
It's terrible.
Do you guys remember any other Rises?
No, but if they wanted to make a Boogie
offhand.
Nights sequel, they could use Rise, and it would be appropriate. Probably.
Paul Reiser? No. I'm just kidding. And of course, I know you guys love Metal Gear Solid. What? Why? What does that anything to do with anything?
Because
I'm
they
sure.
have,
We're all looking forward to the next game in the series, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. That's the name?
Yeah.
they added Revengeance to it. I didn't
think
know
so.
that.
That name is terrible.
Revengeance.
Yeah, pretty good.
Thanks,
Wow.
Bill. That was a good email.
Owen sent me an
English.
email about how to fix our podcast.
Fix it, you
XML.
mean do it.
Yeah, I'll get to it, I guess.
Put on iTunes, lazy fuck.
He's not
we
going
need
to.
to.
He's not going to. He just said, I guess. That means he's not going to do
Okay,
it.
here's an
That's
email
actually
from
funny.
Doug. Yo, guys.
I have this green sweater. It's kind of warm.
Got a
Shut
dog
up.
named Pork Chop.
Shut up, Quail Man.
My last name is funny. You guys were talking about this in the last pod. He doesn't say podcast, just pod.
He's busy. He's got time.
I put a period after pod. He ain't that busy.
Okay.
I was just wondering if any of you have ever played any of the Time Splitters, in parentheses he puts 2 is probably the best, games. It was made by a bunch of guys who worked on GoldenEye. It was one of my favorite games for PS2. Might make a decent grab bag game if you had played it before. If not, probably just a good shit show.
I played Time Splitters, the first one. I remember on the first level they have that snake mini game, and I just played that
Yeah.
the rest of the time.
First of all, Time Splitters 1 has the longest loading time of any game I've ever played.
Yeah, so long.
I never played the first one, but I played the second quite a bit. And it's
alright.
really fun. It's been a long time since I played it, though.
Well, the reason I liked those games was they were really fast for console shooters at the time. I mean, obviously Quake 3 was way faster, but it had a good speed to it. And I only played the first one really a lot. I played 2 a little bit, but the level editor actually was really easy to use too. You can make these levels pretty quickly.
Sounds fun.
With the controller. It's kind of amazing.
Never did that. Just played it.
Hey, T40's. Hey. I'm going to be in Scottsdale with some friends over spring break and was wondering if you guys had any recommendations on places. Spring break 2000, yeah.
2000. That's 12 years
It depends on how old you are.
There's a pretty good Circle K on like Thomas and 80th or something like that. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's good.
There's
What were the recommendations he was asking for? I can't hear because Bandunk doesn't know how to keep his fucking mouth shut.
no, he wants any recommendations of places to check out.
Places to check
Are you
out?
talking like bars or food?
Lolo's
or
Chicken
nightlife?
He's going there for
Waffles.
spring break. Yeah, I was going to say Lolo's
Lolo's
actually.
Chicken
That's a good
Waffles.
hangover place.
Yeah, when you
That
get a
is a
hangover,
Scottsdale
go to
one, not
Lolo's,
the-
and then you'll feel sick in a different
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say it depends on your age. because I'm gonna assume that you're coming down here to have sex with ladies,
Yes.
And drink a lot.
and drink a lot. Which those things don't really work together, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, depends. But I would say, if you're anything below a senior in college, you probably do not want to go to Scottsdale. But if you're a little older, you do want to go to Scottsdale.
Yeah, if you're college
there's
aged,
a lot of older people there.
If you're college aged,
go
you
to
might
fucking
want to just
Tempe.
go down to Tempe and go to Mill Avenue, which is where all of the college bars are. Don't go to Q Club.
No, that's a sausage fest.
But if you want to meet women, I don't. The
Old
bars.
Town Scottsdale has a ton of shit.
Scottsdale is a much better place to meet women, but if you're too young, they're just not going to talk to you.
You
That's
you
the
could
problem.
sign up for.
Also, you need a lot of money.
You could
No,
sign
you
up for a
don't.
Tempe spin class, and
Yeah.
then you'll meet some women.
Yeah, that's
Just do a couple
Just
spin
go to a
classes.
fucking
all
dog park.
hungover after eating
No,
Lolos and gravy all over yourself.
Just go
Hey,
to,
what's up?
Just go to a dog park in Scottsdale during the day.
Oh, yeah, that
man.
works too.
Fuck.
Just steal
Places in
someone's dog.
Scottsdale are actually worth going to. There's a lot of nice bars. One that I recommend is a place where my girlfriend used to work, actually, and I really like it there. But it's an upper scale, more expensive type place, but it's called Casimir's. It's a little wine bar. If you want a
Pretty
chill
awesome.
place to hang out at night, and it's kind of an older crowd, though, that's a cool place.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for, like, clubs, I mean, we don't go
Any
to
of
clubs
them.
because,
Yeah,
they're all the same.
Yeah,
They're all
whatever.
exactly the
Just-
same. They're all super loud.
Just go on Scottsdale Road to any of those.
Yeah.
Look them up online. They change ownership all the time,
Yeah.
so I don't know the names of them.
Unless you plan on dancing, I don't see any reason to go to a club because there's no way you can talk to people in those places.
No, but you don't need to talk to people
Yeah.
if you're trying to have sex with them. They have a lot of
kind
places
of true,
that,
actually.
and also
Fan
there's
dog
lots
sage
of
advice.
places to kind of pull people aside and talk to them. Actually, they're
Yeah.
big clubs. There's a lot of money, but also if you want a place where it's just guys, like you need a buffer away from the loud music. Mabel's on Main's a real nice place too. They have some good food. Fifth and Wine's
good restaurant if you
Yeah.
want to go.
Ice cream liqueur. There's a place. What's that place called?
Oh,
There's-
I think that's the name of it actually.
Yeah.
I think it's called Ice Cream.
If you want to get drunk during the day, eat some ice cream.
Yeah, no one will judge you either because they won't know. You're just licking your ice cream cone, and they're just like, "Oh, he's just enjoying it."
But when they'll know because you're licking your ice cream cone while you're peeing on the sidewalk. So, then they can tell, but until then,
Maybe he has a bladder issue.
yeah, it's some kind of issue.
All right. And last one. This is from Daniel. Loving the podcast. Hey, guys. Hey. I spent the last few months getting caught up on the podcast after I discovered, I almost said the word divorce, I don't know why. After I discovered it, and it's made my daily commute so much better. Just chime in to say I don't mind at all when you go over time. In fact, I wouldn't mind a regular hour and a half or 2 hour podcast if you felt like you had enough time to talk about it. Keep up the great work. I'm going to say we're not really big on trying to be exactly an hour, but we generally want our time to be an hour because that's a lot of stuff to.
yeah,
There's also kind of a thing where if you go over too many times, people
Sets precedent.
yeah, there's that, and people a lot of the time set aside a certain amount of time to listen to something, especially if they listen to it in their car or something. It's like you don't want to go over too far because then it cuts it off, and people get annoyed. They really do. So, at least I do.
You
Sometimes.
skipped the one from Dave about his brother having a near-death experience by falling down the stairs while drunk.
Yeah.
That's a cool podcast.
That has nothing to do with anything.
I know, but it's cool. Hope your head gets better.
No, at the bottom it said he had
Does his
brain
brother
surgery.
does his brother listen to us?
I don't know.
Well, maybe he should. If he has brain damage, he's probably about at the.
Said he had brain
here are some beers to drink. Person who fell down the stairs drunk.
Said he had brain surgery at the bottom.
Sorry
so-
about your brother.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want to listen to us.
So we're only doing one voicemail this week, guys. I can't stress this enough. Again, make your voicemails short and make them make sense.
To the point.
Stop
Yeah.
saying like, yeah, I don't know what I was going to talk about. What was it? If that happens, hang up and do another one.
Yeah, just hang up and start over. Okay, so here's the one that we got.
Hey guys, I was just wondering real quick why you never do any music segments on the podcast. You guys always cover stuff like, politics, home ownership,
All things Mike does.
stuff like that, but you never cover anything on music. And I was wondering why you didn't do that, because there's a lot of shit about music that is really good for some kind of segment. So, just a recommendation. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. You're awesome. See you.
Thanks.
Thank you. We've actually touched on this once, but I never really went into detail about it. The reason that we don't ever do stuff about music is that taste in music is so arbitrary. So saying that someone sucks, it's a lot harder to deconstruct music and say why it's good or why it's bad than it is with movies. There are a lot of technical aspects of movies that you can say, like, listen, this is done poorly. It's very easy to see.
Yeah.
But with music...
sorry, I think, 70% of the people that win Grammys suck ass, so...
Yeah, well, with music, it's like having a running bass line that sounds like galloping horses. I think that sounds like shit. But there's a lot of people who love that. They run that fucking bicycle pedal on the bass drum, and people like that. And, I can't say that sucks. It doesn't suck any more than not having that, but it's completely different, and in terms of taste, I think it sucks. So, I think with music, it's a lot harder to really pinpoint.
I think the only thing we maybe could do
we kind of segments
future,
where we shit on music is what
we have to maybe point out tropes in music, because there are a lot of them. Like, everyone starts whistling in songs all of a sudden.
Yeah.
There's like 4 top 10 songs with whistling all of a sudden.
If you have chopsticks,
like, oh, that's the hot shit.
If you have chopsticks in your song, you suck.
Oh, God, that's...
They don't like Blinded by the Light.
Exactly.
I absolutely hate that song. But anyway, I agree. And, I think a big thing about it, too, is just that, I like certain types of music, and I know that music isn't what a lot of people consider to be good music, and it's not because I think that I have necessarily bad or good taste in music. I just like what I like, and I think that it's true with everyone. It's so impossible, because I knew a guy who is a music journalist. He literally is a professional music journalist, and he told me that Radiohead sucks. And I'm like, he didn't say, I don't really like them or I only like certain songs. He said they suck. All their music sucks. And I'm like, well, you're just a bad journalist then. If you literally just think everything by them sucks.
Lady Gaga, too.
And he likes Lady Gaga. And so it's to me, it's well, what can I say to that, though? He likes what he likes, but I can't. To me, that's stupid to me, but whatever.
Well, one thing I think we all can agree on is if you do drop D tuning with your guitar, no matter who you are, that's great music.
It is.
Drop D.
Hey, Outshine by Soundgarden is a great song. That's a drop D.
Drop D.
Pretty good.
Any song on Dookie.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's fine though, because I'm going to talk about music now.
I will say that Richard Cheese makes any bad song good. So,
Oh, yeah.
Richard Cheese is pretty,
so you can stick it up your
So yeah, that's a very good question, but I think that music, yes, you're right. Talking about tropes with music is a lot easier than talking about why
sucks.
something's good or bad.
Like the hottest girl in the club.
Yeah, music taste is just too arbitrary for me to really say much about it, and so I just kind of, whatever someone likes, I usually just leave it alone and go, fine, you like that, so that's great, go for it.
So, beer of the week. I just finished moving, for the most part, back into Tempe, and Tempe's kind of a party town.
You bought a new house.
Yeah, I bought a new house. It's nice.
It's not new.
It's not brand new, but...
It's not new.
Jesus.
Sorry. So, to commemorate my moving back into the ASU party town, I purchased a beer that would be, typical in typical ASU parties. So
Yeah.
I got natural ice in a nice 24-ounce tall can.
Known as Natty Ice.
Known as
colloquially.
dog shit.
5.9% alcohol. I'm not going to lie, it kind of tastes like bananas and aluminum.
Yeah, but neither's a good. No, it's not good bananas or good aluminum.
No, it's like overly ripe, too sweet bananas, and then metallic
The can was
grossness.
definitely designed by the artist for NASCAR ads too.
Yeah.
It looks like a
It is
NASCAR can.
intense.
My favorite thing
What are
about
these boomerangs? Like boomerangs on the fucking
my
thing.
favorite thing about the Natty Ice can design, honestly, is the fact that it says natural ice in gigantic letters, and then behind it in tiny little letters you can't read, it says lager. And the reason is because nobody who drinks natural ice knows what the fuck a lager is versus any other type of beer. They're just drinking natural ice because it has over 5% alcohol and it costs nothing.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's disgusting.
I haven't had it in a long time.
Not very good is an over. That beer is
Do
disgusting.
they have a light
rough.
Natty Ice?
Natty Ice.
No, they don't. They just have natural.
There's
light.
natural light.
Oh yeah. Well,
But it's not That's
the same
it's
thing.
The same.
So yeah, this beer has a rating of 51% on Beer Advocate.
Hey, that's half good.
51%?
Yeah, it's one of the lowest I've ever seen.
That's the lowest I've
No,
ever
you know what?
seen.
That's too high.
I know.
That's too high for that beer.
51%
That-
of people like it? No.
Natural Ice is straight up disgusting.
No, it doesn't mean 51% like it.
I
It's
know,
in Rotten
I know.
Tomatoes style.
That stuff is the difference between like I can see like bacon beer. I drink that. I think it's fucking nasty, but I could see someone liking that.
Yeah,
People,
I
smoke taste.
can't,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I,
sure.
I could see someone liking it because people have
Chili
weird
pepper
tastes
beer?
sometimes. This is a beer
Oh,
where
that's worse.
I drink Natural Ice. Yeah, that's worse, but in a different way. So I drink Natural Ice, and I literally just can't see someone liking the taste of it. It doesn't make sense to me. It's so disgusting.
It's not like the
Terrible.
typical like domestic lagers. Like
No, it's
like,
different.
because most of them just taste like water and some like little
they're like
little
Pabst,
hop,
yeah.
like little bit of
Like
hops.
Pabst, water, and hops. This is like
Shit.
banana and aluminum.
Yeah, it tastes.
It's really
Weird.
I gotta say
disgusting.
thanks to the Beer Advocate for recommending that I eat Monterey Jack and pepper jack cheese with shellfish with this beer.
Shellfish?
Yeah,
Pepper
shellfish,
Jack, I
it says
think
right
would go
there.
with this actually.
Shellfish?
Yeah.
You need some fucking goopy cheese to go with this. Not shellfish.
Maybe
though.
it's to induce vomiting.
Well, here's the thing. You're not supposed to have shellfish and cheese together anyway, so
That's what they said.
I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's move
I
on.
think Epic Mealtime's doing some food pairings.
That's me.
Natty Ice and shellfish.
Wrap it in some strips, son.
Put some cheese on that shellfish, son. Okay, so Ryan's going to talk about music. So, what specifically? Music makes the people come together, right?
So I recently
Music makes the world go round.
came across an article that was
Great.
saying that the light rail stations up in Minneapolis and St. Paul, where I'm actually from,
Liberal.
fuck you. They said they're starting to play classical music over
Wait,
the sound system.
who is?
The Transit Authority for the light rail, and they're playing classical music as an effort to
Better Meaty Wagner, fucking anti-Semite.
to deter crime. Okay,
Yeah.
they want to avoid vandalism and loitering and gang activity, etc. Yeah.
So racist. It's so racist.
Yeah. Anyway, so I did some research, and apparently they're not like the first city that's ever done this. Portland, Seattle, London, various Canadian cities all have this.
All
in, like,
liberal.
Yep.
all have this going on in the transit place. For example, in London, they started playing classical music in like 60 plus. I guess they call it the Tube.
Yeah, the two.
Yeah.
Underground.
Stations in 2003, and within 18 months, robberies dropped by a third and assaults dropped by a quarter. Vandalism dropped by 37%.
On the
Now-
trains?
Just in the stations.
Is
Now-
there any type of data suggesting why that is?
Because they all left
well,
because they
no.
don't like the
I mean,
music.
its correlation doesn't equal causality. I mean, they don't know if that's true, but
Right.
it happened to be at the same time.
Only
so-
everyone start wearing top hats.
Usually when they hear
Tuxedo shirts.
move, bitch, get out the way, they actually knock people down. With classical music, they just stand there.
Yeah. Another one I actually saw that was funny as an aside. In West Palm Beach, Florida, in the summer of 2001, police did a similar thing because apparently there's gang activity in this abandoned building on a corner. So they put up speakers that play classical music, and apparently criminals got up there and destroyed the speakers. The cops said apparently there wasn't a lot of community support behind it, which is kind of sad. But it's pretty obvious that young people don't like classical music for some reason. And
Yeah. Well, I think it kind of exhibits or it portrays the type of people that are kind of assholes. So
Yeah.
classist pieces of shit. That's the problem. I mean, wealthy people tend to listen to it, so it's very
you ever been to
off-putting.
you ever been to like a classical music symphony thing? There's some elitists there.
Yeah, I felt bad. I wore my Arizona Diamondbacks t-shirt. And
I was just wearing
didn't
shorts,
work
like whatever.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that they didn't like you was because you were yelling "woo" and clapping,
And then your lighter up in the air.
Yeah,
too,
cell phone lighter. Cell phone lighter.
He kept yelling out "Free Bird."
but
I just yell more trumpets, more trumpets.
He was yelling out "Whipping Post" because he's OG.
there's a debate whether or not the music actually. I'm trying to keep this in.
I should be helping you. I'm making it worse.
There's a debate whether or not the music actually calms people down and prevents them from doing crime, or if it just moves it someplace else.
No, they leave because they don't want to listen to it.
Well, yeah. But
That's what it is.
That's sadly probably.
When they like it,
Could have
they
plugged
say
someone
that.
somewhere else. I'm not comfortable here. This class is bullshit.
This music's too nice to hurt someone.
God damn it.
We're ruining Ryan's
Yeah,
segment.
you're ruining my
No,
segment.
it's great.
There's a quote here from someone who this was talking about the guy in the London thing when they were playing in the subways there. From the article it says at one station the aria from Bazit's Carmen was serenading commuters waiting to get on board. And this is a quote: "There's no one that just hangs around anymore. They would get on the train now instead of just loitering." So I mean,
Told you. That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's
I'm not-
literally what it is. They don't want to listen.
But I was thinking about this, and I was wondering why Western classical? I mean, there's other genres out there they could play that get the same effect.
B-52s.
It's not a genre.
I'm out of here.
Because
Oh, it
they're
is.
rate-
B-52s is a genre.
they're-
It
Well,
is.
no, it's because they're classist motherfuckers. They think, oh, these lowly people, they don't like this music, and this is civilized music. So civilized music will make people
Yeah, but the thing is,
civilized.
it works though.
Here's what.
Yeah, it's
were
fucking shitty.
So this is the first. This is the first music they played, or they.
Yeah, they just played what they. I don't know if they tried other.
They played
Because
Slipknot
what
first.
it makes
It didn't work.
No. What it makes me wonder though. What it makes me wonder though is if they were playing a random eclectic mix of music before and then
That's a
switched
good
to
question.
classical
Yeah, they're probably
music.
using like Muzak
They're
or
like-
something.
Because
like
because
alternative rock
if they
or
were
something,
listening
like
to
Green Day
Muzak
shit.
or something like that, then no one would
That
want
would make
to.
me violent.
Well, what I'm saying is people aren't going to stop and want to listen to that either. Why would they
Yeah.
get on the train, like not move on listening to that shit? Because no one wants to hear elevator music. Everyone hates that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that's... People don't really hate classical. It's just... whatever.
Most
it's
people
there.
don't care about
It's
it.
like, oh, whatever. But, like, elevator music is actually annoying sometimes. Like, oh, my God,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, like
That aggravates
renditions
them.
of Hall & Oates,
Irritates
all
them.
instrumental.
Classical
like
doesn't really...
soft jazz.
Classical doesn't really
Awful.
irritate anyone. So.
Well,
Yeah.
I was trying to think of other ones. I mean, if they played, for example, big band jazz or ragtime or country music or
I think
music-
country would make people
That'd be bad.
drink and throw bottles at people.
I know.
beat their wife, go get in
Not
the
that I'm
truck.
straw manning anybody. But
They'll just play "I'll Never Smoke Weed with Willie Again" on repeat, like in every subway.
But it's kind of the reason I did this segment is because I'm a huge classical music aficionado. I think it's kind of disappointing that this music gets marginalized as elitist or prissy or I don't know, like uncool.
Well, it's not.
In
It's
some
just
way.
the fans are.
Well, yeah, but I
do
mean,
you feel the same when you drive your BMW? Like, I wish normal folk were BMWs around.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
well, yeah, but
They blast classical out his window. They're like, oh, what a nice BMW. They want to ram into you, but it's like,
They don't
"Stand
see your
out."
shirt that has Call of Duty. Man, I got sophisticated.
I do carry a yellow
Go
pop
time.
collar polo shirt in my
You
car.
just
though.
put it on.
You do, actually.
Holy
Amazing,
shit.
amazing.
But it's just kind of sad, really, because I think the classical. I mean, going off the music discussion we had earlier, the thing with the email that came up, why we don't talk about classical music. I think the classical music gets kind of a stigma behind it, even though no one ever listens to it by itself. I think it's one of the most emotional and intellectually involved music you can have. I mean, it has so many different underlying currents of different emotions and different, I don't know, themes and variations on them. But no one ever sits down and listens
People
to it.
don't have the
because-
patience
do you
for classical music.
That's exactly it. I think
They
that
don't have the
really
patience.
is what it is. Because I mean, look,
There's
do you
so
think,
much,
do you think
too.
when people listen to "In the Club," they're thinking about the emotional overtones of it, or you think they're doing it because they want to dance to it, or
You-
they,
you know
or
who
because
is?
easy?
Music reviewers. That,
Yeah, and that's yeah, but and you're right though. You're
Dubstep
right.
sure
You-
is stepping.
That's why I talked about earlier. We already touched on it, which is
Yeah.
why, to me, music criticism is a pointless field because one person will say something's completely awful, and there will be millions of people who think it's great. It doesn't matter. Like it's completely arbitrary.
Like a lot of movies, though, they use classical bits. Of course, Apocalypse
Well,
Now uses the whatever it's called.
Flight of the Valkyries.
Yeah, and they just use that certain part, but they don't play the whole thing at all because people don't want to listen to the whole thing. They like the certain parts. if that could possibly happen, people would listen to it a lot more. But then again, that just ruins the whole thing.
I just think people don't go out and explore it anyway. I mean,
People don't go out and
They
explore
don't.
anything.
No, you got
That's
shove
with anything.
shit down their food hole.
People continue to
Their
eat Taco
music
Bell
hole.
when there's way better Mexican places than Taco Bell. So.
I mean, like I've said before, I mean, I like ska music. Ska music is dumb music, but I like it. I think it's fun to listen to. I enjoy it, and I know that I'm not a stupid person,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that I listen to music that's intellectually involving or complex.
See, but I listen to Korn, and I know I'm a stupid person. It's a
Yeah, you
little
are.
different.
That's not true because you don't listen to it.
Actually, I heard them on the radio today, but anyways.
Did you continue to listen?
I listened to the song.
You didn't change it. You just continued.
No,
to
you
listen?
know what? Because I hadn't listened to Korn in years, so I was like, I'm going to listen to this.
Maybe I like it now.
And it was like, no, this is still terrible.
Didn't
Still
work
spelled
out.
with a K.
Worth
Yeah.
a shot.
yeah. So anyway, I
Terrible
guess
to me.
in conclusion, I have a sound clip for you.
Okay.
Sin? What's all this about sin? Using fucking men like that, you can do harm to anyone! Beethoven, just rock music!
Are you referring to the background score?
Ludwig von.
Before?
Yes! So you're keen on music?
Is that it? Yes. No.
Can't be helped.
Oh, well, that's a very good movie.
That is a great movie.
I actually watched that not that long ago. And
I haven't seen it in like 4 or 5 years.
Really?
I watched
Love
it
that movie. So
about a
good.
month ago. I watched it, and
Is it 7 years?
I'm just like, man, that movie's better than I remember.
I think that's like
Yeah, it's certainly better than the book with the extra chapter in it.
yeah,
I think it's like a top 3 movie for me. I like that movie a lot.
it's amazing. No, I agree. I agree with aspects of what you're saying, but the problem is that there's always going to be a stigma that's attached to any genre of music, and that includes classical music.
Yeah, then
The reason that this bothers you is because you like classical music. I like punk,
Ska.
Ska is a terrible stigma, and then there's like
There's like Bon Jovi fans.
classic rock.
They're retards.
Classic rock has a stigma too. I mean, they all do. They all.
barely.
I think
probably
it
has the
does.
least
It depends
of all
on the type of classic rock. If you don't like glam rock, that has a big one. I don't
Well,
listen to glam
80s hair
rock, but
bands.
My dad listens to glam rock, and you know what? He fits the stigma pretty well. Guess what? And a lot of
So
times
I was
it's
kind
true.
of actually wondering, though. I mean, Alex and I were talking the other day when we were moving out of Mike's old apartment that there's a lot of old people down there. So I wonder if it works like reverse. Like if I were to throw on like crappy dubstep, if all the old people would leave.
I think it would.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
For
would definitely
sure.
leave.
Yeah,
No,
right now,
actually, they would
since
just
they're
call
all
it-
Canadian, they listen to Anne Murray all the time. Fucking
They would just call the police.
frost songs.
They would call the police on you.
My ears hurt.
They'd send out an SOS.
This isn't Anne Murray. This isn't Anne Murray or REO Speedwagon. My favorite Canadian groups.
Fantastic.
So what we learned here is that Lexus is the best way to, like Lexus commercial, the best way to kind of absorb.
People in the classical
Yeah,
music.
classical music. Yeah,
It'll do it.
Calvin Johnson ads or whatever. Whatever. Anyways, is that it?
Yeah, that's
Sure. Okay. Oscar chat.
Let's talk about the Oscars.
It sucked. Okay, we're done. Let's go.
Yeah, almost.
Which part sucked?
Oh,
Except
man.
The
one
Oscars.
part,
This was
good.
maybe the worst Oscar show I've seen in a while, and that's saying
I think
a
it
lot.
was worse
I
than
laughed
last
twice.
year.
Oh, it was definitely worse than last year, in my opinion.
Well, the movies in it were way worse too.
Oh yeah, this was a bad year for movies. The last year.
Yeah, it was. It was.
It was a bad year overall for me. I mean, there were some good movies, but
I went from seeing all 9 of 10 of the Best Picture nominees to seeing none of.
You saw
the
none
Best
of them?
Picture. I saw none of these movies.
Really?
I thought 50-50 would be maybe I get one.
Should have been.
Yeah.
I was surprised 50-50 didn't get a nomination.
And-
Actually.
Bullshit.
and Levitt didn't get a nomination either. He was
No,
great in
which is
that.
really
And Seth Gordon was great in it too.
he was.
I
He was good in it.
But I
But Seth-
I didn't see the other movies. So
I don't
can't.
think Seth Gordon. I think he'll or Seth.
Yeah, I was like
Rogen.
Seth Gordon.
You called him that too.
Flash
I know I
Gordon.
did.
What's going
Sorry.
on over here?
Flash Gordon. Seth Rogen. I don't think he's going to win an Oscar. And if he does, I don't think it's going to be up for a long time. It's going to be a completely out of sorts role because the problem is he plays the same character
Yeah.
in everything.
And he basically played himself, and I think
He
that hurt
did.
him.
He did play himself.
But
in
Levitt
that.
didn't. He was
No, Levitt was
Really
fantastic.
good.
He was great. But anyway, we're talking about movies that aren't even in the Oscars.
That's how good the Oscars were.
Yeah, I know, that's how great they were. Well, the first problem with the Oscars this year, and everyone just say it with me. Everyone just say it with me.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal.
Jennifer
She's fucking-
Lopez. Oh wait, okay.
She's bad, but
No,
she didn't have
Billy
anything
Crystal
to
was
do
the
with the
worst.
Oscars.
Ryan's not even paying attention. He's so
I didn't
pissed.
see the Oscars. I got nothing to say.
No, he didn't watch the Oscars, it's true.
He was
We
busy
watched
listening to
it.
classical music.
Yeah.
We all watched it at Van Dunk's house. They were just, I mean, it was a terrible show this year anyway. It was just awful. But aside from that, I mean, a lot of the winners were completely unsurprising. Like, let's talk about Best Picture. Are you shocked the artist won?
Yeah, they basically told you they were going to win beforehand.
This year just sucked.
That movie was massive Oscar bait, and it's funny because I saw the movie after the Oscars.
Oh,
I
you
watched
saw it now. Okay.
I did.
I didn't know.
And I
you'd
gotta
seen
say,
it.
it's a great movie. I
Okay.
really liked it. I think that, you know, I'm not really into silent film. I never have been.
Unless it's Birth of a Nation, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Or Battleship Potemkin.
Terrible.
Yeah, Val, I've seen
Battleship Potemkin bored me.
Yes.
that. Hey, you don't like shots of boots?
Hey, man.
Okay.
That's cinematography. No, you know, I'm not really into the silent film thing, and I know that the idea of making this a silent film is almost kind of a novelty in a way. It's like, it's part of the movie because it's a silent film about a guy who makes silent films.
Is it almost a gimmick, though?
It's so masturbatory.
It is kind of, yeah. And
Yeah.
the thing is, though, I watch it, I'm like, I really like this movie. I really enjoy it. But then at the same time, it's like, really they're giving the Oscar to the novelty of the movie and
exactly.
not to the movie itself. Because the movie was not
But
this
what do you think should win
incredible
instead
film.
is the question.
That's the problem. And the problem, too, is that I haven't seen several of them.
Yeah,
but
I didn't see all of them.
I did see Moneyball.
Which is
I did,
awesome.
I
I like
did
that
see 50-50, which wasn't even on the list, and I think that was easily a contender because I can guarantee you, without seeing it, that it was way better than Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Everyone hated that movie.
Saw Descendants, which that was
Descendants
it was
good.
but it's like
I would say it's a better movie than Descendants, the artist, I mean. Yeah. But I would not say it's a better movie than 50-50, in my opinion. I don't think it was. But more so, it's just, it feels like they gave it the Oscar because of what it did and not because of the movie it was.
I think, but think about this. Like, what's this movie about? It's about the transition of silent film actors going into talking.
Yeah, that's true. Go figure that the Academy.
It's so like
is.
these actors are like, oh,
Like you
this
said,
is about us. I
masturbatory.
totally relate to this. It's like, no, you
Yeah.
don't. You have no idea. You've always just been in talking.
do you think,
Now,
think they don't put 50-50 in there because it's like half comedy and there's so much like raunchy jokes and stuff?
Yes.
I think
got
that
it.
there's
hate
a
that
good
shit
chance
so
of
much.
that.
They always do that.
The other thing
Fucking
I think
bullshit.
the other one I think that I haven't seen that could have been a contender for Best Picture was nominated was Hugo. And I've heard great things about Hugo.
I have
and
too. I haven't seen it.
I
I
find
want
it
to see
shameful, actually, that I haven't seen it because I really do want to, but I just haven't yet. The one thing I will say, what's his name? Let's see if I can read it. Michel Hazanavicius, whatever, the guy who directed the artist. I will say he won Best Director, and I think he deserved that. The direction in that movie is fantastic. It's really good. Maybe one of the best aspects of the movie. It feels well put together, and the performances are fantastic, especially considering there's no voices. They're not too hammy,
That's
which is
tough,
a difficult
too.
thing to do
Yeah.
without. Yeah, and it's a good movie. It's really good, but I'm on the fence about being the Oscar winner. But I would say Best Director, he definitely.
Yeah, the other movies
deserved
were
it.
just they're well directed, but it wasn't like anything.
I got the
special.
list here. There's a lot of people from The Help. It's like I haven't seen it, so I really can't have an opinion on it. Best Actress, Meryl Streep in The Iron Lady. I have a huge problem with this. I did not see the movie. It seems like she did a great job. I think Meryl Streep's a good actress, but
She's an amazing actress.
she is in a movie that was not received critically well. I don't care how good you are.
Yeah,
we
argued
argued this.
We have.
Yeah. Okay, this is just like MVP, right? If you're an MVP, you have best stats ever, but you won't.
I think it's
win-
bullshit.
You think it's bullshit, though?
No, I disagree with you.
Oh, you just.
It's like the Heisman Trophy. Like, whoever wins the Heisman has to be on a good team no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like no matter what. MVP.
I
I think it's a
also.
little different though with sports though because you choose the movie, you chose this role, you chose this script, and you said I think this is a great role.
There is a validity. There is a validity to that in saying that part of being an actor is choosing good roles. It's not just acting.
But that has something to do with
one of the biggest parts.
Well, no. One of the biggest parts of success.
Yeah.
Not necessarily being a good actor, because I've met good actors who I've looked at their film and I go, "This guy's good in this," but everyone else is dog shit. Why is he in this? But the thing is, I don't think that detracts from them as an actor. But in terms of their career, obviously it's going to. It would have to.
I mean, The Phantom was terrible. Billy Zane was so good. So
I was going to say Nick Cage.
Nick Cage, yeah. Nick Cage, though, is not consistently good.
I will say,
difference.
One one-time Best Actor winner, a strong candidate to win a second time. Yeah. He did that. Now he does whatever he does now, but that...
He likes money.
Yeah, he likes money.
Well, he has huge financial problems right now, so he's in big trouble.
Is he just really bad with money or something?
No, he invested his money, but the guy stole all the money.
Oh, I heard about that.
And invested like shit.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I actually heard that in a sort of inside baseball-y type of way, because I knew someone who worked for the production company that he ran.
So let's see, what else? We got Best Actor was Du Hardin, or I guess, which is, again, the artist. And he's great in it, but then again, he didn't talk.
It's a silent film.
It's
I'm not trying to insult you silent film actors if there's any left, but I mean,
Don't talk shit about
There's a lot more nuance to doing a speaking role. It's a lot harder.
I agree, and that's why I said I think the direction was incredible, but the acting, it's like, I mean,
I say would be the best silent film actor? Kramer. Michael Richards. Oh my God!
You just see him
yelling
N-bombs constantly,
just tripping over everything.
And then it shows the black tile, it says Negro. They post censor him.
I don't know that you made one mistake. Super racist, but you made one mistake.
All I will remember is
and
all
matters. People are going to shit on him for the rest of his life.
Same thing. He died.
So Best Actor, he was great in it, but then again, it's like, I think that has more to do with directing, because the actor, I think that especially in a role like that, a silent role, the actor is always going to ham the fuck out of it, and the director is the one who has to fix that.
Reel them in.
Yeah, and go okay, now, bring it down a little. Don't look at the camera and wink. You know, that's how actors are. They're
now let's put on your blackface.
Yeah, I like Brad Pitt and Joseph Gordon-Levitt the most this year. Yeah. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt didn't get anything, so whatever.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was fantastic, and
I heard Jonah Hill was really good in Moneyball too, and he was really nominated, but they were just kind of
he was a poop nominee. They just kind of threw him in there. You know? They're like, he's not gonna win, but. He was good. I don't think he was Oscar good, in my opinion. Yeah. I wouldn't have given him an Oscar for that role, but I think he was fantastic in it, though. I don't know who I would give these Oscars to, though, because
it's been kind of a low year. I will say that the movie I've heard the best things about, and the one I want to see the most, is A Separation, the Iranian film.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
I've heard a lot about that.
I haven't seen it yet, though. The documentary sounds good because I like sports documentaries because sports. Yeah. So Undefeated sounded good. Rango, I heard was good, fucking weird. Ryan. So,
the best part about the whole Oscars, though, was Chris Rock.
Yep.
Easily.
Totally. He was easily the funniest.
So funny.
You know why? Because he wrote his own jokes. Joke. Yeah, he wrote a nuanced joke. It had levels to it.
People were kind of pissed at him because it kind of seemed like he was shitting on animated movies, but he was really just shitting on the actors, the voice actors.
Well, no, he was also shitting on what the directors want, because he goes like,
we're gonna go to the store.
Yeah, he was yelling it. Yeah, which is what all of them act like in those movies.
He was saying
Shrek. Shrek. That's all the donkey does.
Well, he was saying animated movies are so easy, but what he meant was that voice acting is easy. It's not easy to do the animation and create the movies.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, people are going to find any reason they can to get pissed, especially when you make a racial joke. You make a racial joke.
Funny.
Oh, that joke was amazing. It was way better than anything else in the Oscars. But you make one racial joke, people are going to be like, and they're going to be fucking watching.
I'm not racist.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, okay, now in the next scene, you're going to eat a watermelon and go, that's good. And you're like, that's not racist.
Watermelon's pretty good.
It's not racist because it's a parody. Yeah, all right, sure. So best writing, Midnight in Paris won original screenplay.
And he didn't even show up.
Of course not.
He didn't show up. You know why? Because he's Woody fucking Allen.
He probably fell asleep at the pre-show.
Probably did.
Oh, so you
How many
get my
How many
pillow.
Oscars does he have now? Do you know?
I don't know
A
offhand. I'd have to
lot.
look it
I
up.
think he's won like 3 or 4 best writing.
I gotta say,
he's a really great writer.
I haven't seen Midnight in Paris. I've heard it's really good. I think it probably deserves to win because Woody Allen's scripts are usually really fucking good. Now his movies aren't always good; they're usually pretty good, but his scripts are almost always good.
Yeah, they are.
So hey,
He's getting pretty
whatever.
old.
He is old. He's gonna die.
get my knapsack. I'm tired. I don't want to cross the street to go to the Kodak Theater. Those people there stuffy.
We're not racist at all.
Well, he really does sound like that.
he does.
This is the difference.
He's Saul Rosenberg.
He really is.
Based on him. Adapted screenplay, Descendants won. That was a good screenplay. I liked the
was
script,
good.
but I don't know.
The only thing is, I read this prediction list on who was going to win, and the guy only got 2 wrong. He got Best Actress wrong and Best Editing wrong. Got every other
Who
one
did he
right.
put for actress instead?
He picked the woman from The Help.
Oh,
So
yeah,
he picked,
yeah.
and she was the favorite, and she didn't win because she's black.
No, because they gave it to the supporting role, so she didn't get.
She didn't have a big enough star power. That's her problem.
Who are
She
you?
lost to Meryl
Well,
Streep.
How do I pronounce your name?
Other best writing for adapted was interesting. The nominees were actually kind of. I think there were some interesting nominees for
It was
that. Like
Moneyball, right?
the Moneyball was in there, which I think shouldn't win
I don't
because
think it
that
should.
was
I don't
not a
think it should win
script
either.
movie.
No,
that was,
not at all.
It was a great movie, but it was not script. Like the script in that movie was nothing special, really.
Yeah.
They just made the movie really well. Tinker Tailor was in there, but I'd never seen that. I don't know what the fuck it's
I've
even
heard
about.
really, really mixed things. Not just from regular
Yeah.
folk, but from critics, too.
It was very
Like,
mixed. Ides of March. I will say the script was pretty good in Ides of March, but again, I don't know if it's good enough where I would give it an Oscar.
Yeah.
And then Hugo, which I don't fucking know, and I really want to see it still. So I don't know. It's just all these movies. I can't. Even the ones I've seen, that one, it's just like, nah. I guess like they're good movies, but
It's like
Oh, but-
Slumdog Year all over again.
Anyways, the other one he missed was
Yeah,
Best
it's still-
Editing. He thought the artist was going to win Best Editing, and I actually wrote to him, and I wrote to Benson, and I went, dude, if he wins for Best Editing, I'm going to fucking kill myself because he had no sound to deal
Yeah.
with. It's like, you know how easy it is to edit without sound? Is so much easier.
Well, they have a
You have to no
they have
sound
a, they have a sound editing Oscar. Does that mean
Yeah,
that
they
the
do.
editing is just video? The
Yeah,
editing
but you
Oscar?
have to keep that into consideration,
It's
though.
true.
You can't just cut. It's like, sound editor's like, dude, that totally won't work. You can't go, well, fuck you. It's going to just have this, just cut this audio.
my other favorite one, in fact, my favorite of all, is Best Original Song because so few movies have original
There was
songs
two.
now that there were only 2 nominees.
Yeah.
And of course, the winner was Man or Muppet from the Muppets, which is a really funny song, but it's also
Was
not
Animal
a
in
good
that song?
No.
Not a good song at all.
Was Animal in the song at all?
No, it's not.
What? Who cares?
That's not why it wasn't good. It wasn't good because the song's not good, but it won because it was up against a song from Rio, and no one fucking cared about Rio at all, which they shouldn't. And then
The guy who wrote it was the fucking...
and the guy who wrote it was Brett McKenzie, who is of course one of the Flight of the Conchords guys, which is really funny that he now has an Oscar. I love Flight of the Conchords.
He has an Oscar
but,
and
I do
Kubrick
too.
doesn't.
well, he's dead, so he doesn't matter now.
Kubrick never won, did he? Oh.
He won a visual effects one, but that wasn't really him.
Anyways,
That's the dream. The visual
So-
effects Oscar.
going on about Oscar's judgment, Billy Crystal. We do need to talk about Billy Crystal a little bit. Billy Crystal. Okay, here's the thing. They had Eddie Murphy lined up with Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner, I don't know about that. But
Well, they're
Eddie
glad
Murphy-
they didn't have Ratner because
Yeah.
right after that he said that fag thing.
No, he said that before. That's why he got fired.
Oh, okay.
See, so they were
I
a
didn't know
package
that.
deal. Ratner and Murphy were a package deal. And, I know Eddie Murphy makes bad movies, but that dude is a lot funnier.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
That guy can be really funny.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, he was an actual comedian, not Billy Crystal.
Yeah. Like, you see his old stand-up, it can be funny. It's inconsistent, but it's funny.
Yeah.
and they go, and so Ratner gets fired, and then Eddie Murphy, they're like, "You're gonna stay, right?" And he's like, "No, dude, I was working with him. He got me the job, so I'm gonna leave."
Yeah.
And then so he leaves, and they go, "Who should we get?"
Let's just go back to the good old days.
Yeah, and they had Jim Carrey contacting him, which I don't love Jim Carrey, but he would have been a better choice too.
I think he would have been better.
Anybody would have been a better choice.
The best choice of all would have been, of course, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah,
They'll never pick Ricky Gervais though, because he already did Golden Globes, and also Golden Globes hates him now.
Yeah, they do. They really were pissed because NBC pushed them to pick him again.
Yeah.
But
How hard can it be to pick someone besides Billy Crystal? Seriously.
I mean, we were all talking about this before the Oscars. We didn't say it on the podcast, but we were like, dude, this is going to be terrible. Because we all remembered when he hosted last, and he was fucking terrible.
You know who would actually be really good? Because, usually the hosts of the Oscars kind of talk about how it's boring and lame all the time. Mm-hmm. Louis C.K. That's what he always talks about.
But the problem is that Louis C.K.
is too dirty.
He's way too dirty, and more importantly, he has the exact type of attitude that they don't want to be.
No, they want an ass kisser. Yeah, that's the problem.
And he's the opposite of that.
Which even Eddie Murphy, he doesn't really ass kiss, so it's like it's just that he's in the group, so they kind of.
At least they didn't have him do a
kind of works.
dance number like fucking Wolverine, whatever the fuck his name is.
No, they did have a dance number. They had a song and dance number at the beginning. You just missed it.
Yeah,
it was fucking atrociously unfunny. It was garbage. It was fucking shit.
And then at the end of it, he goes, "You didn't think I was going to do it?"
At the beginning, he's like, "Oscar night is here." He goes, "You didn't think I was going to do it?" I was like, "No, I didn't." There's 5 writers in a room going, "This is a really fucking bad idea."
Also,
but then there's probably 2 or 3 writers who are like dinosaurs that go, "No, let's do this. This will harken us back to the old days."
Seriously,
which is what
when black people weren't nominated for Oscars.
I'm guessing Chris Rock came up with his jokes in 5 minutes, and these guys can't write one single good joke for
there was 12 writers.
Months.
You know why though?
Months.
It's because all their jokes are meant to just appease the Academy.
Yep, they have to be pussies.
They don't want to make real jokes. None of those people would ever make a joke like Chris Rock did ever. But you know why? Because they're not fucking comedians.
And Chris Rock did do the Oscars, and he was pretty good. And he censored himself a lot.
Yes, he did.
Which is the only reason why he wasn't great.
Oh, he would have been amazing.
And they were still like, "Oh, he's too edgy," and so he's too black. But the thing is that there is some humor to be had, which was when they pointed the camera to the person Billy Crystal was talking about, and he wouldn't know for the first couple seconds that the camera was on him. So he'd be sitting there looking super fucking bored, and then he'd realize the camera was on him, and then he'd start laughing.
Yeah, but it was great because he'd start laughing when he wasn't in the joke yet. Before the punchline, he would just laugh.
Or get a big smile on their face, out of nowhere, most unnatural.
I gotta say, I didn't see the Oscars, but how many Clooney reaction shots?
There was a lot.
There were a lot, and he looked really annoyed in most of them.
It was him and Brad Pitt and Angelina. They were the most by far.
Seeing Clooney was great.
They
Clooney
roped him into you didn't see the sketch where he had to kiss Billy Crystal. And everyone was like, that was supposed to be the big joke. It wasn't funny at all.
Yeah, go figure.
Because it was supposed to be the Descendants, but Billy Crystal was a coma patient.
Okay.
Which, in terms of humor, he is in a coma. That's not what they were saying, so it didn't work. But yeah, it was not funny.
I don't know why they would pick Billy Crystal again. I don't get it. I think the only thing I can think of is maybe they thought if they picked him that he would unerringly lead them to Curly's gold or something. But
I gotta say, the next day, I was actually looking forward to reading the Billy Crystal reviews. I was like, I can't.
People hate him as much.
They fucking shit all over him. A Hollywood Reporter, Gawker, people very safe magazines were like, "Yo, you did a bad job."
He straight up sucked.
Yeah,
he straight up sucked, and I didn't expect him not to suck. I expected him to suck really bad, and even he delivered.
Even his improvised jokes, which you could tell which ones were him, they were terrible. Everything coming out of his fucking mouth was crap.
Well, there is a reason for that, because he's never been funny ever.
He hasn't.
Never.
Let's talk about baseball.
People talk about his heyday. He didn't have a fucking heyday. He was never funny.
You didn't like him in Forget Paris?
I didn't like him in anything.
Analyze that.
I didn't like him in When Harry Met Sally either. He fucking sucks. He's not
by the way,
funny.
they had a clip of that movie in the...
Yeah, of course they did, because he had to throw it in there.
Remember my one well-reviewed movie?
Okay.
Let's move on. Stop shitting on Billy Crystal.
Dude, I could do that for hours.
Yeah, it'd be too
It only
easy.
takes
So-
me like 5 minutes to take a shit. So,
real quick though, if you're going to the theaters this week, do not see Project X.
Ugh.
Do not see that movie. Found footage party movie. Don't see it. If you see it, you're contributing to the problem. You're part of the problem. This is not an opinion. This is a fact.
I don't think most of our fans would probably go see it anyway.
But I can see maybe one going. But it's so funny because a midget comes out of the stove and cock punches somebody.
Nice.
Hilarious, right?
who plays the
Found footage.
midget? Is it
Scale
like no
guy,
names? Is it
guy who gets
no name
paid.
actors? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
guy who gets paid scale. All right, let's
Guy who overacts.
let's move on.
So top 5 most wanted. Number 5. Using Jack Nicholson's picture on your fake ID will probably get you busted.
There's not much else to say really about that
So
one.
the first thing I thought of was, which Jack Nicholson picture did they use?
The old 70s.
This
version.
one.
And they used like About Schmidt.
Yeah,
version.
it's a little older maybe, but yeah, he's like
Does it show a
his-
picture of the guy who used this ID?
No, but he's Brazilian.
And he's 41 years
There's
old.
no way he looks like
31?
him.
41.
41.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
41. What?
yeah, so he got pulled over by some cops and he tried to use this, and he actually had 6 different IDs.
Well, he tried to open a bank account. With
Oh, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
Tried to open a bank account.
He had 6 IDs.
Yeah, he apparently did a bunch of fraud or something. So.
Well, yes.
Not anymore. Sorry.
I wonder what
How
the
can
other
there be-
actors that he used were. Like, if there was like Chris Rock.
I don't
like
think
some-
he specifically used actors, because if he had any idea who Jack Nicholson was, he wouldn't have used it.
So this was what you were saying. You think that he didn't know who Jack Nicholson
Yeah.
was? Someone sold it to him.
Yeah.
But that guy's fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
That guy isn't in the top.
great
That guy's
sales.
awesome.
I mean, if I was trying to get a fake ID, I sounds like, that's Jack Nicholson. I'm not taking this ID. He looks nothing like me.
You know, the only reason why it's
More
like
importantly,
even-
he's instantly recognizable.
Yeah, exactly.
the only reason why it's even slightly forgivable is because it's in Brazil. Even there, it's like I don't know, but
You have to be in fucking Mozambique or something, dude. 'Cause
Yeah.
even in Brazil, people know who Jack Nicholson is. Kidding me?
All right, 4.
so number 4, 25 people who think President Obama killed Andrew Breitbart.
I thought you were going to say Bynum. So.
Oh no.
That's really dumb.
So Andrew Breitbart died. I think he died from cocaine use, but that's my
I think
opinion.
he died from Obama. So.
Yeah. So while you're
25.
matching these, by the way, this article was posted maybe 3 hours after he died.
Yeah, it's
What?
basically
Where
just a
was this
bunch of
posted
people
at?
on
Okay,
Twitter.
so here's one guy, Brandon at BranduTR. I don't know how that came up. I don't believe for a minute that Breitbart's death was natural. Remember, he said he had college video of Obama.
Yeah, and fucking Trump said he had stuff in Hawaii
That you can't believe.
Yeah,
You
so
couldn't
Maybe he
believe.
died from being an insufferable piece of shit.
Kim Shoemaker.
Could have done it.
Kim Shoemaker at Latex Dress. I know, you know. He's a good political pundit.
Yeah, right.
What website is this?
This is
are all-
BuzzFeed. This
yeah,
is just, but this is collected off of the Twitter.
Are they just
story.
random people's Twitters?
Yeah.
Yep.
Breitbart was working on something big on Obama before he died at 43. Yeah, the big thing he was working on was continuing to write very, very fraudulent articles like he always has.
Why do we care
I
about
don't like
this?
Obama.
These are 24 random people that are just morons. This happens all day long.
This is hours afterwards.
Maybe he had.
Let me see.
Conclusive proof that there was no birth certificate.
Damn it, doesn't have that.
He found that in college.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe what he saw. Call for By the way, this guy has a fucking Thomas Jefferson picture
Avatar.
because he didn't have sex with his slaves or anything. Like he's some upstanding American.
Or his cousin.
Well, back then.
Actually,
That
didn't
was
he,
kind of
actually, didn't he
par-
marry
yeah,
one of his
par for the
cousins or
course.
something?
No, you're thinking Roosevelt.
I think it's bullshit when
That's
people
even
say
worse.
stuff
That's
like
later.
that.
Yeah.
I really think it's bullshit when people go like, he had slaves. It's like
Everyone has slaves.
slaves.
It's not morally
it's the fact
right.
that he had sex with his slaves because that's
Well,
like,
that's good for the slaves.
It wasn't
Yes.
morally.
What?
If they wanted to. I mean, you said sex, not rape.
yeah.
So
It depends.
It's not morally
Well,
right,
how-
but it was
how could it
socially
be-
acceptable. So
How would that be consensual? Oh, thank you for having me as a slave. Oh, you're actually quite attractive, actually.
I think that there's beyond that. This guy is.
I wasn't
trying to-
serious.
Silence. No one could even. Anyways, this is the last one I want to read. Call for congressional hearing and investigation on who killed Breitbart. Obama's a hitman with an army of parasites.
Parasite.
Who are his parasites?
So do they like those parasites when they drone bomb brown people? I want to know if that guy's okay when that
Yes.
army... Okay, cool.
No, it's fine then.
Yeah.
It's not fine when they kill conservative.
Not on my watch.
Not conservative pundits.
Okay, so let's do number 3. Lorax, Secret
Trace.
World of Area 80.
Oh my god.
Will teach kids that ecological preservation and borrowing are somehow okay. Cautions. Lou Dobbs.
Okay.
Kids
Broken
pay attention
borders.
to plots in depth, right?
So, The Lorax is a movie coming out. It's based on like a 20-page book that Dr. Seuss wrote with the patent at the 90 minutes.
well, that's more like a one-page
And that's
book.
why Cat in the
Yeah.
Hat was such a good movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, that was
anyway,
Jim Carrey.
Well, hey, Grinch Saved Christmas, pretty good movie.
Anyway, Lou Dobbs and a bunch of his talk show, or what is it, talk radio friends were talking
Yeah, they
about
met
the
at a
movie.
convention. They became buds.
It was all talk radio.
Yeah, all talk radio.
All
people.
conservative talk radio.
Anyway, it was funny because they were talking about the Loraxes making people, environmentalists and shit.
No,
the movie
they're
is-
kids.
Yeah, but anyway,
There's a furry thing on the screen.
did we get the guy's name who said all this? It's one of the talk show dudes. I guess we
he-
can figure it out.
I can't remember which guy it was, but we'll put it in the show notes.
Drunky McAsshole.
This man, okay, we had a debate, actually. He said this guy was crazy. And I said, I'm positive this guy's drunk. He has to be
Maybe.
drunk.
I don't know, though.
I don't think people say things like this because this guy is a radio host. This means that even if he's not, he might be a moron still.
But
he
he's good
is.
at talking.
But yeah, you have to be good at talking. This guy sounds drunk to me.
I think what happened, honestly, with this is that he started his point before he knew what the point was.
Well, I think
just
that's
play it.
also true, but that's what drunk people do. So okay,
true.
so just to preface this, basically they were talking about the Lorax and the Secret World of Arietti and how they're fucking with children's minds. And the guy, this is his solution on how to stop this from happening.
from teaching kids about environmentalism
Okay.
and sharing.
And these guys are right. What we're doing is we're creating Occutoddlers. Here's what I would recommend. If you want to go see the movie, and we all know what the agenda is, buy like huge tubs of popcorn, ram them in your face. They're all made of paper. Then you crinkle it all up, you throw it on the floor, you walk out, you spend all kinds of money on stuff, and you leave it on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go into the movie theaters and you actually fight back against this message. We don't need any more borrowers. We don't need any more Occutoddlers.
Okay, this guy sounds drunk. He sounds drunk.
Can we pause it? 'Cause I think we need to break
That was
this
the end
down.
of it.
No, pause it.
No,
as we go
no,
through.
no.
Break it down.
No. More importantly, this guy's solution is to give more money to the movie theaters by buying a bunch of stuff.
The people who actually made the movie are going to get 100% of their money because you're saying that you're going to go see that fucking movie.
Yeah, and
so
then
they
but
got
his
their money. They
solution-
don't care.
His
They're done.
solution is
Is he even
to
talking about the
buy-
movie at all?
No, he doesn't even know what these movies are because he's drunk. So basically, his solution
That
is to
works.
go see the movie, to buy a bunch of concessions,
Because they're all made out of paper.
and crumple them up.
Let's work for Harkins
Crumple them up and throw them on the floor. So this guy's
It's like
solution is
getting his ass, Larry. That's
this
what it is.
guy is an advocate of the war on janitors. That's what this guy is. He wants to make the janitors pay for these people trying to brainwash the kids.
I gotta say, kids don't think about this stuff when they watch these movies.
No.
They see furry little thing jumping around,
He also-
throwing pies and shit.
It's voiced by Danny
And-
DeVito.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I gotta say
And then
another
I
thing.
see Frank Reynolds.
I gotta
so
say
it's a
another
big
thing.
problem.
My aunt is one of these people. She would not let her kids who were ages like 10, 7, and 6 not watch Mulan because she thought it would mess up their mind of what their actual religion is because they would get confused about how they're praying to
We're gonna do some
how they're
Shinto
praying,
bullshit?
how they're praying to ancestors in Mulan. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? They're kids. They can
Yeah,
I gotta say,
they'll start
funny-
believing in dragons and shit.
if you don't show them stuff, there's oh my
That's
god.
incredible.
I love how he said. He
insane.
also said we all know what their agenda is. It's like it's the Lorax. If you have even passing knowledge about the book, you know it has an environmentalist message. He seems surprised like it.
Actually, the funny thing is, I know what their real agenda is: making money.
Yeah.
That's their fucking agenda. They don't fucking give a shit.
No, they don't give a shit.
They
It's
want
a
to make
property.
money. They want you to give them
What were
your
these people
money.
when we were kids and Captain Planet came out? What were they saying? They must have been flipping the fuck out
No,
or
they
something.
didn't.
No, back
it wasn't
then-
24-hour news really yet. It wasn't fast enough.
back then it wasn't. The conservatives weren't as obsessed with trying to knock down the green.
They are so fucking
and shit like
sensitive.
that,
That's the infuriating thing. They're so fucking sensitive.
Everyone is.
You toddlers,
stupid.
You're talking about babies getting indoctrinated into political views. Like, how the fuck does that
give a
happen?
shit.
But here's the thing, though. All these
believes it.
conservative pundits. Well, he does believe he's an idiot, but
Yeah.
all these conservative pundits, they are worried about children getting indoctrinated into the green movement. But they're not worried about children being indoctrinated by Christianity because that's what they believe.
Yeah.
So they go, well, that's fine.
Do you
You
think
should
this
raise your
guy
kid to be Christian.
I didn't know that in the Ten Commandments it said, "Thou shalt throw popcorn on ground if it's paper."
Hey, man.
And make a mess if you don't support the movie, and let them get 100% of their mony.
Muslims aren't the only ones in the holy war, man.
You know, what I
Ours
love
is
about
this
this
fought
though,
with paper, apparently.
How is this not number one?
I don't know.
I know we should have put this number one, man.
But what I love about this though is it's a perfect portrayal of Republicans because they want to be against this movie, but at the same time they're such corporatists that they can't just say don't go out and see the movie. Instead they're like, no, they still have to see the movie because the theaters have to make their
toss
money.
shit on the
And you
floor.
gotta buy more.
But hey, and then one guy raised in, hey, won't the studio that actually made the movie get all their money, whether there's shit thrown on the floor or not, because they have nothing to do with that? It's like,
Well, that's
all made on paper
that's
anyways.
that's the funniest thing
don't think
about
about
it,
any of that
though.
stuff.
That's the thing that I think is really funny about it is that his solution is to buy more stuff than you
Yeah.
would have, not just go see the movie and be like, "Listen, I saw it. This is
Not fucking
bullshit."
over anyone at
Tell
all,
other
except
people
the
not
janitor,
to watch
like
it.
you
No, his solution is to go and buy more concessions to throw them on the floor. Why not bring your own paper? Throw that on the floor.
Yeah.
No, that's cheap.
And guess
You gotta
what? They
buy
just clean with
concessions
one
'cause that
broom
is
anyway.
Not allowed.
Doesn't matter how much stuff's on the ground. They'll just clean with one broom so it gets it all once
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done talking about
No,
this.
one thing though, obviously he's using the carnival games theory. It's like, oh, I know this game's a rigged, but I'm going to give you more money and try to beat it. I'm going to beat this game.
Beat you at your own game.
Yeah.
Guess what? You
I have
can't.
that problem.
Let's go to
Number
number two. Number two is journalist recovers video of his arrest after police, quote, deleted it.
Yeah, this isn't a good headline. though.
Yeah, so there was this photojournalist named Carlos Miller. He was taking photos and whatnot of the Occupy Miami protesters. Apparently, the police.
Is there any Occutoddlers there?
Yes, the police were saying that he shouldn't be taking pictures of them for whatever reason. So they arrested him based on the charge of resisting arrest, which is kind of a logic loophole. But afterwards,
That was his only charge.
yes, a resisting arrest. I don't know how
He
you
arrested him for resisting arrest before he resisted arrest.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, he went in jail for the night. Next day, he got his camera back, but some of the pictures were gone. But through the magic of technology, he found most of them. So
Data doctors.
now he's suing.
Doctors.
Yeah, now he's suing the police.
He should.
Yeah,
Sue him
sure.
for a lot of money. Even though you don't even deserve that money, you do it just teach him a fucking lesson.
Well, they don't deserve it either. So it's
Yeah, that's good. But then whoever's in the city of Miami had to pay those taxes. To fucking
That should
pay
be
those
number
dumbasses.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. The
Yeah,
taxes
like-
are going.
Just fucking
I
everyone
think-
over.
okay,
Everyone's
you know
just
what?
fucking everyone over.
If some,
Why don't they just all
if some
die? Who
Cop,
cares?
If some cop tries to arrest you without you knowing about it, you pay the fine in full. You comply to the arrest, but then you throw popcorn all over their station.
that should help.
Yeah, just
So good job. Taking pictures of
Number
cops
one.
apparently
So-
a crime.
So number one, and you guys need to keep a watch out for this. All mobile traffic isn't equal. So what this is there's a they are pretty much a complete monopoly in France. They're called Orange. They're Orange Telecom.
Declaration of Independent Web Traffic.
Well, sort of. This is good though. So Orange does mobile phones. They're like Verizon here. Orange
Carrier.
Yeah,
it's
they're
a
a
carrier.
mobile phone
Yeah,
carrier.
mobile carrier. And they're going, well, we're going to offer a new plan. The new plan is for less than $14 a month. Now, it's euros, so it's probably like $10.
Yeah.
10
€10,
euros,
yeah.
sorry. Customers can get unlimited web browsing on their phones. The catch, the internet was limited to Twitter and Facebook. Every 20 minutes spent on any other website costs nearly 70 cents. Now, here's
I like
the
how
thing.
they go by 20 minutes instead of by minute or by hour.
No, yeah, because they want to make the math
retarded.
harder.
Exactly.
Or
They
actually,
wanna make math
Exactly.
or actually by data usage, which is
Yeah.
probably what you should be going on. But anyway,
harder.
No.
Here's okay. So
No, all 20 minutes on it is the same data usage, retard.
a couple of years ago, a series of slides were released from Comcast that showed this cable plan type setup to the internet. So it's
Yeah.
like Amazon, Facebook, Twitter. Those are $30 a month. But if you want ESPN and this, it's $40 a month. So it's set up like cable.
yeah, it's the packaging tiered system.
So they were flirting with this, but then everyone found out about it and they kind of quieted down because people got really mad. But in France, they thought of a good way to dish it out. They go,
swindle it?
make it a good deal. That's
Well,
a good
it's the
idea,
same-
right? Because you're never going to use enough data. 20 minutes, 70 cents, you're never going to... Your current data plan is $30.
Well, it's the whole idea. It's the same with tiered internet. So, I mean, if people were saying, hey, you can go on to Facebook and Twitter and MySpace for $5 a month for cable internet, people would be like, oh, that's great. And then, if you try using any other site, it's got to be, a fucking $10 a gigabyte or something.
Yeah.
But it's the whole fact that, if this starts going to be popular, the whole precedent is going to be set and the net's not going to be neutral
It's
anymore.
going to save you guys money, dude.
I don't think it'll work.
You're going to make money.
What the big problem is that the hosting providers, the ISPs, the wireless carriers, whatever, they're seeing all these companies online make money through ads and whatnot, and they want to slice. They want to pay. They
Dude,
want
Facebook and Twitter are like,
That's exactly
yes,
why.
Yes.
Yeah, and here's the genius thing, because if you think Google's all great or whatever, all these fucking guys are going, hey, you know what? Net neutrality for wired connections, but for wireless data, no net
Suck my
neutrality.
dick.
That's their strategy.
Suck my dick.
And it's fucking Orange is already implementing it.
No, actually, that should have been number 3 because the fucking Lou Dobson.
Do you think companies like Facebook really don't want that to happen, though? Because I gotta say,
they want that.
No, Facebook wants to be the
sure.
base level. They want to be
exactly.
NBC. Of course.
That's
They
what I'm
want to
saying,
be
because they're going to own.
That's what I'm saying.
everything.
Facebook and Twitter are like, fuck yeah, you could.
They'll get kicked back all the time.
Yeah, there's also kickbacks going on.
Oh, lots. Are you kidding me? But I mean, I think that they let it get too open, and they were like, oh, this internet thing is stupid, and it's not gonna, people are gonna eventually go back, and they go, oh, and people aren't going back. We gotta we gotta reel this shit in a
They're
little
going to turn
bit.
this shit into cable. It's
Yeah.
going. It may take 10, 15 years. It's going to turn into fucking cable. It's like, oh, I want to start a website. Well, now you got to get cable approval. Now you got to get on the,
sign up for GeoCities.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get fucked up if this stuff starts. Because they'll have.
I don't know if it will.
They'll have an all-you-can-eat package, but it'll be like $200.
No, we got Anonymous to save us in case it does. So.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll.
I don't want to pay
do
money
lots.
to go to Gaia Online, so
I want to get paid.
No, that'll be one of the free. That's such a heavily used site that would actually be free. So, that's the end of our podcast.
Number 40.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good.
Let's tip to this one.
Yeah, tip 40s or empty natty ices because I actually drank the whole thing.
Sadly.
If you want to contact us, podcast at tipping40s.com, or you can call us at 218-666-8407. This has been the 40th episode of the Tipping 40s podcast. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Breaking. Diggity dog. 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 Breaking. Diggity